What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Happy Sunday. Sorry I'm late, you guys. I was finishing up the episode. I got home later than I thought, and I hadn't started the episode. So my apologies. Hey everybody, come on in. Again, on the main channel, it is a members only chat. If you would like to chat freely, please go over to our sister channel. The link is pinned at the top of the chat. We are like 79 subscribers away from our goal over on the sister channel. So if you are not subscribed, please subscribe, you guys, so we can get that party started over there. Okay. So, hey, everybody coming in. You think the intro, it's the same intro, it's the same length of time. All right, let's get into this episode. So, I'm going to try my best not to complain about the stuff I've already complained about, because it is what it is, whatever, right? So I'm going to try my best not to complain about what we already know. So Dolores and the gang, they go to family dinners. Frank and the kids and Dolores, and basically it's they do their family dinner on Sundays. Paulie can't come, Frank's girlfriend can't come, but they moving forward. Pretty much the only thing that went down at this dinner, to be honest, the only thing that really went down at this dinner was they're talking to Dolores about her living situation because Paulie's divorced. You took an edible, okay? Because Paulie's not divorced, but Dolores is like, listen, the townhouse is a beautiful place to live, but it's not mine. And Paulie and I are supposed to be looking for a spot that we can put both of our names on, but really we can't do anything until his divorce is final. Honestly, I feel like this is Dolores' storyline. Her storyline is this Paulie situation with his divorce. And honestly, listen. I really like Dolores. I know she's my favorite, right? I very seldom say I have favorites, but she is actually my favorite on this show. And what I like is that that's the best that she's got, right? She doesn't have a lot of drama. Like, I think Dolores' life is pretty drama-free, especially now that she done broke up with the doctor. Like, I feel like that whole situation with the doctor was a little messy. But, okay, she got a boyfriend who has not divorced his ex-wife, but they've been separated for like 10 years. So that's not a big deal to me. I mean, again, I had an uncle. We didn't know he was still married to his wife until he died, and they hadn't lived together in 20-something years. We didn't find out until he died because she was his next of kin, and we had to deal with her ass, okay? But up until that point, we all thought they was divorced. So it happens, right? Especially if you didn't find anybody, you haven't moved on. Life is, especially if y'all have business intertwined, there wasn't no prenup. Like, Paulie looked like he got a little bit of change, but maybe Paulie didn't always have that change. Maybe Paulie and his ex-wife built this situation together, and Paulie didn't want to have to share it with him. You know what I mean, with her. So that might be like, I feel like it's financial reasons why this thing hasn't happened. Honestly, like, I don't feel like it's just Paulie ain't ready. I think it's deeper and it's very tangled. And the longer they waited, the worse it probably got. But they got complacent. Now, honestly, if that's the worst that Dolores got going on, honestly, I'm okay with that. Because, it's a storyline. It's something. It goes back to the conversation we were having yesterday about reality shows. Like, this is a real storyline, right? It's not made up. It's not fabricated. Hell, it's real. Matter of fact, Dolores didn't even want to let y'all know that man was still married. Remember, it came up at the reunion, okay? Paulie is still married because the spouse wouldn't have insurance. See, I think that's a really good reason. I mean, now I have some more hey, what's up, Chuck? I have some more serious questions. Like, she can't go get some affordable healthcare insurance. I mean, I hear it's not the best insurance and it is a little pricey, but she can't get Medicaid, Medicare. I don't know which one is it Medicaid? Like, why? She can't get no insurance. I would have more serious questions, but again, like I said, I felt like it was a reason. Excuse me, y'all. I felt like it was a reason. So with that being said, my husband and I have been separated since the kids were 15 and 16. They're now 51. Now, you know what, Deborah? Wait a minute. Wait. Am I reading that right? Hold on. Wait a minute, Deborah. I'm not laughing at your situation. But did you say your kids in their 50s? First of all, Deborah, I didn't know that you were a lady of a particular age. So congratulations to you, my love. But girl, Deborah. Now, Deborah. Now you can let that go. Well, shouts out to you. You look good for 72. I see that screenshot, honey. Polly's still married because she has no insurance. I think she's in that income resource donut hole. Yeah. And don't get me wrong. I know that's easier said than done. Like, I'm not going to sit here and make it seem like it's just that easy. I know it's easier said than done. But neither here nor there. My brother was in the military, and when he once went to divorce his wife, it wasn't because of his insurance. They were separated for 15 years. Yeah, again, I think that's a legitimate reason, you guys. I'm joking, but I'm serious, right? I meant what I said when I was like, there had to be a reason why the divorce wasn't final, why Paulie has sat on it. And the fact that Dolores is being so understanding tells me that there's a real reason, right? I honestly feel like Dolores really is not pressed about the marriage situation as much as feeling safe and feeling secure. And I feel like that might be a little bit of PTSD coming out of her marriage to Frank and however that whole situation went down with the Frank situation. I don't think she's that pressed, but I do think it makes her uncomfortable that she's living in Paulie's house. And if he wake up tomorrow and don't want to be with her anymore, then she's kind of walking away with nothing. And I don't think she's a gold digger either, but I also don't believe that she's going to stick around and walk away with nothing. I mean, that's just how I feel about it. But I honestly do not think she's that pressed about getting married. I think if Paulie were to buy a house and put her name on the deed, I think she'd be good. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. If her and Paulie were to go out and buy a house and her name was somewhere on the deed, not necessarily the mortgage, but if her name was on the deed, I think she'd be good. I really think she'd be good. And I don't think she wants to be added to the house the house they're living in now. One, I don't think that's her style. Like, I think it's a beautiful house. It's clearly, I mean, it's a gorgeous house, but I don't think that's Dolores' style. So I don't think that's the house that she would necessarily want. I think she's allowing this to be her storyline, but in the grand scheme of things, I honestly don't think she cared that much. I just don't. She still has her house that the kids live in. She's driving a Rose convertible. Right. That's what I'm saying. I know she still has that house, but again, I just think that, again, for me personally, I just think that she wants something with her and Paul's name on it together. Yes, when I say walk away with nothing, I mean walk away with nothing from Paulie. Not that she would be homeless. No, she's got a house. We know she's got a house. She's good. But I mean, walk away with something. Yeah, she's driving a Rose, but it's not hers. Y'all see what I'm saying? Like, it's not hers. And again, I don't think she's that serious about all of this. I think it's her storyline. Honestly, I feel like if we pulled Dolores aside and asked her one-on-one with no cameras around, I promise you it ain't that serious for her. Do I think it's something that she wants? Yes, I think she wants to be with Paulie. Do I think she's pressed right now in this moment? I don't. But I do think it worries her that nothing has her name on it. Now, that's my opinion. I could be wrong. I don't know that woman like that. I'm sure Dolores and Paulie have an understanding of something or something that she gets if they break up. No, Monique, no. See, that's what I'm saying. Me having a conversation with you and me making sure that I'm going to get what I'm supposed to get, that's two different things. People have conversations all the time, and y'all seen water roses. People get mad, relationships break up, things don't go the way you wanted them to go, and people get amnesia. So what they say now when they're in love and everything is good is not the same as what's going to happen if and when that relationship dissolves. Nah, I ain't trusting now. I don't play them games. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. But neither here nor there. The other thing that happened was Frank showed him the ring, and he pretended like he was going to propose, and the whole restaurant was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Listen, Frank know what he doing. Dolores know what she was doing. They knew that people was going to see it at the restaurant, and they knew that somebody was going to talk about it, and it was going to be in the blogs. Like, they knew what they were doing. But it's not that serious. I think it was just, they were just playing. You know what I mean? It's not that serious. It was cute. So that was pretty much that. I didn't really think I was going to spend that much time on that child. It shows security or commitment when you have something with both of you. Yeah, exactly, Kia, exactly. So, and again, do I think when things are good, it's easy for people to say what they won't do when things are good. But we all have seen, I'm sure if I asked y'all right now to write in the chat, whether it was your situation or a friend or a family member, we all have those stories where when things were good, they were good. And when things weren't good, it turned into a whole shit show. I think we all have a story. So it's easy to say now, but again, like I said, ultimately, I just don't think it's that serious. Okay, the next scene, we have Danielle, Melissa, and Rachel hanging out. The kids are there. I forgot that's how Rachel and Rachel. I forgot how that's how Rachel and Melissa even knew each other, was through their kids. So they're friends. Danielle brought her son. It was cute. They did a little go-karting, yada, yada, yada. So they got to talking. And of course, they had to rehash what happened at the daggone softball game and who yelled at who and who got mad at who. And somebody tried to tell me last week that Marge started that argument with her and Jackie. Well, we saw that was Jackie that started it by going to Marge talking about, so she feel like Marge don't never have her back. And Marge was like, girl, are you crazy? Like, I have had your back through all of this bullshit with you and Teresa and you and whoever else you've been fighting with. I've always had your back and I've always been on your side. So no, Jackie sort of came at Marge first, and then that's when Marge talked about you weren't there for me for Jan and why I didn't get a copy of your book. You know what I mean? Oh, see, Chuck, look at Chuck. Chuck's still mad. He said after 24 years that he could still kiss his ass. You see what I'm saying? And I bet you at one point in time they was in love, holding hands, walking through the park, skipping and shit. You know what I'm saying? Right, Brad and Angelina. Everybody was all Brangelina. Bethany Frankel husband took 17 million. Listen, it's real easy to say when we in love, what will and won't happen. So, with all of that being said, we get to talk. So we found out that that's kind of how that went down. And then Melissa is talking to Danielle about her father's situation. And here's a perfect example of what I've been telling y'all about. We have to break this mind. Family is above approach. Danielle was very clear, and she ain't always clear, but Danielle was very clear in why she has set that boundary with her father. She said, I feel like he has taken my brother's side and that he has been unfair to me and my part in this. I have not cut off his relationship with his grandkids, and I have not cut him off from the point of view of if he needed something, I would not be there from him. However, I have set my boundary that I feel like you have treated me unfairly, and I am not going to allow that. My brother, and again, from her version of the story, and I still think it's more to the story, but from her version of the story, her brother does not have a good reason to be mad at her, right? It sounds real stupid, but again, I think it's more to it, but it just sounds really silly. And her thing is, I have set my boundary. Now here come Melissa, and she wants to put her situation on Danielle's situation. And her situation is, well, I mean, I wish my dad was here for me right now that I could talk to him. Let me say something. only Danielle can answer this question. The only thing I will say to people when they do put their boundaries in place is that is a question you have to ask yourself. That is a conversation you have to have with yourself. If this person leaves tomorrow, am I okay with where we are? And I remember when I talked to Preston from Martha's Vineyard, and he said that about his father. He said, listen, I had already mourned my relationship with my dad. Yes, it hurt that it was gone, that it was a finale on it, an exclamation point. There's no way that we can never rectify things. However, I had already mourned that because of where our relationship has always been in my life, right? Because of the way he treated me and treated my mom and treated my sister. That relationship had been mourned. So what I'm saying is if Danielle has truly accepted, listen, God forbid something happens to my father tomorrow, I am at peace because I did my part, but I also have to set my boundaries. Listen, we have got to stop encouraging toxic behavior and toxic relationships just because there is blood running between us. We've got to stop doing that. And again, it's a hard lesson and it's hurtful. It's hard and it's hurtful. But I know Melissa meant no harm. But when Danielle said, listen, my father has treated me badly and he has taken my brother's side in this. And for that, I can't, I'm good. He can still see my kids whenever he wants. I talk to my mom. If I see him, I see him. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear the full story too, because I do not think we have the whole story. I think that the story we have was the final straw. I do not think that was the whole catalyst for her and her brother falling out. I think that might be the final thing that happened that caused her and her brother to fall out. But that was pretty much what they talked about. I don't remember what order we found this out in, so let me just put it to you like this. Somewhere along the line, Jen Fessler is messy. Fessler is messy because Fessler done went back and told Danielle that them people was talking about her down to the dog party and even told her that Jennifer was imitating her. Now, I don't feel like Jennifer was making fun of Danielle. We all know that Jennifer does her impressions of people, and she's actually pretty good at it, honestly. I mean, whether you like Jennifer Aiden or not, y'all can't be mad. Y'all can't deny the fact that Jennifer Aiden is actually pretty good at these daggone impressions, right? And she did a really good Danielle impression. She actually did. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Chuck. They did. They talked about this New York Fashion Week situation. And she said, listen, I don't have enough tickets for everybody, but I'm going to invite Melissa because Melissa has supported me and she supported bougie kids. She let me have a pop-up. She's been checking on me. She's been helping me out. So I'm going to have a brunch for everybody, but I only have a limited number of tickets for people to come to Fashion Week. I feel like that's valid and I feel like that's fair. If you feel like Melissa has been more supportive of your brand and Melissa has been helpful in getting you to this point, I think that's fair. Like, I get it. This is a divided cast and everybody sees everything as a blow against them or as some sort of, oh, you taking a dig at me. But no, I think if I have a limited number of tickets and I have to make a decision, I would base it on who has helped me. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer is really hilarious. I just wish she used her powers for good. Yeah, Jennifer, listen, Jennifer's impressions are spot on. I don't care what nobody say. They are hilarious and they're spot on. She's really good. I want to see her. Maybe I missed it. Has she done one of Teresa? Because I would love to see her do an impression of Teresa Child. But she's so I don't feel. And again, I would need to hear what Fessler said because what Fessler said and what Danielle heard or what Marge heard might not be the same thing. I don't know if Fessler said she was making fun of you or she said she was imitating you. Right? But the fact that she went back and told her about that conversation with the hairdresser. Now, let me say this. On one hand, rewind. I'm gonna rewind what I just said. Maybe messy isn't the word I should use. Maybe messy isn't the word I should use, because I do not know what Jen Fessler's relationship is to Danielle. Because honestly, if I'm sitting somewhere and somebody's hairdresser is talking ish about them, and I'm cool with that person, I rocks with that person, I probably would go back and tell that person. I probably would. So let me not say that Fessler was being messy, because she was talking to her friend. Her and Marge are friends for real. Like, they were friends before the show. They're friends in real life. Like, they're friends. I probably would have told my girl. I ain't gonna lie. So let me take that back. I'm gonna rewind that. She not messy. Not all she would have to do is flip a table. What's up, Dominique Zavaro? Yes, flip a table, child. But let's be clear. She did not flip. We're going to stop saying Teresa flipped that table. She did not flip that table. She tilted it a little bit. She was mad. Jen Aiden also told that woman to tell. Yes. And again, Jennifer Aiden, for all that you was trying to act all innocent in this episode about how you did not set Danielle up, you're doing the exact same thing again, because you wanted that woman to tell that story in front of all them people. One, you already knew the story, but you didn't want to get your hands dirty. You said that in your confessional. And two, yes, that champagne is burned. Absolutely. And two, you wanted that story out there because I don't know if you and Teresa decided that Danielle was next. I don't know. But you put that up. You set that girl up. Okay. So then we see Teresa and Jennifer Aiden going to have facials down at Bill. I didn't realize Bill had his own clinic. I didn't realize that. But down to there, they was getting facials at Bill's spot, Bill's little situation. And while that was happening, we saw Marge talking to Big Marge, and Big Marge had to have surgery, child. She had something going on, some conditions, something going on with her esophagus situation. But she's talking to them about, she's talking to Bill, I mean, not Bill, her husband and Big Marge about the baseball game. And, you know, she's downloading them. She's downloading everybody, okay? Now, let me say this. Jackie Goldenheimer, Goldschneider, Goldschlager, Jackie, how you gonna say, like, she literally said this in the same confessional, I'm not stupid. I know that Teresa and Jennifer are trying to get ammunition on Marge. I'm not stupid. And then she literally says, like, 5 seconds later, I mean, I'm okay with some about them trying to be her friend. And I'm like, but you literally just said, you know, they're not trying to be your friend. They're just trying to use you to get ammunition to come at Marge. So what do you mean you're not stupid? Clearly you are, because you have to know and understand that their intentions are not pure. And then here comes Teresa all of a sudden, I'm going to follow her back. I'm glad that she sees what they're doing. I'm glad that she understands what they're doing. And then she's going to start the conversation off and say, I'm not going to talk to y'all about Marge. Then you turn around and have a whole conversation with them about Marge. Jackie, I think what they said to you later on in this episode at the brunch, I think it's right. You want to be accepted by the cool kids. And in your mind, Teresa and Jennifer are the cool kids. You are willing to sacrifice your relationship with Margaret and Melissa. And I'm going to tell you what it is. See, I'm going to have to just go behind the wall on this one. She just wants to be on the show full time, not a friend of. I'm going to tell you. She thinks she's picking the winning team. What I tell y'all last week, I told y'all last week about this whole, they're trying to make Bravo pick either Teresa or Melissa, and one of them has to leave, yada, yada, yada. And what I tell y'all, I said, Bravo ain't getting rid of Teresa Giudice. Now, I feel like they will reboot that whole show before they will fire Teresa Giudice. I mean, technically they will be firing Teresa Giudice, but I'm saying they would be rebooting the show. And I feel like that's how Jackie feels. And Jackie feels like she's choosing to win the team. That's what I think Jackie's doing. She's hedging her bets. And I think she's choosing to win the team. Now, that was pretty much that. So now we have Teresa, Danielle. Teresa's going over to Danielle's house. Danielle is stressed out about New York Fashion Week. Now, let me tell you a couple of things in this scene. I'm being nitpicky right now. I'm being nitpicky them. I'm telling y'all now, I'm being nitpicky in this scene. So I don't want nobody to drop down in the comments and say you was really being nitpicky. I'm giving you a nitpicky alert. I'm being nitpicky. First of all, Teresa comes in there. Danielle is already letting her know she's stressed out about New York Fashion Week. Why Teresa ain't talked to that lady about New York Fashion Week? We know Teresa. I mean, and I know it's fresh in my memory because I'm just watching the old episodes. But we know that Teresa has experience with kids and New York Fashion Week. We know that Teresa has experience with boutiques and clothing and New York Fashion Week. Why she ain't tell that girl? Like, why she didn't talk to that lady about, well, you know, I did it with Gia. I know that was, I know that was some years ago, but it's really cool. Like, it's don't stress out. Like, I feel like Teresa was like, that was clearly a scene where Teresa was there so she wouldn't get fined. Teresa looked like she absolutely could care less about being there. She could care less about trying to have a conversation with Danielle. She could care less about trying to soothe Danielle's anxieties. Like, I did not feel none of that from Teresa in that moment. I felt like she was just going through the motions because she could have given her so much in that moment. And then when Teresa was looking at the clothes and she was like, oh yeah, this is basic. I knew what she meant. I knew she didn't mean any offense by the word basic. She meant this is something that's real simple that people will want to buy because let's be clear, ain't nobody buying the couture shit. Like, that's not how people shop, not regular people. Especially for kids. They want something that's going to be cute, that if it gets stained up, they don't care because they didn't spend $1 million on it. Like, that's what it is. So when Teresa was like, I mean, she should understand the lingo if she's going to be in this business. I think Danielle was just stressed out. She heard the word basic and it took her into a place of, oh my gosh, no, not basic. No, not basic. I don't think she meant it like she didn't understand what the fuck he was talking about. Now, again, I understand maybe I was being nitpicky, but I honestly feel like Teresa really did not want to be there in that moment. And I feel like she was just going through the motions. And so she was giving Danielle nothing. So then Danielle is talking to Teresa. Well, I heard that I was talked about at Jennifer's situation. And she brought up the whole setup again. And she said she still feels like Jennifer set her up. Teresa was like, well, you got to ask Jennifer. I mean, you need to talk to Jennifer. And every time Danielle tried to have a conversation with Teresa, like, let's be clear. Teresa, girl, you've been doing this for 20 years. You know what it is. You know what the conversation is supposed to be. You know that y'all supposed to be downloading the baseball game and downloading all that happened. You know that you're supposed to be talking to Danielle about whatever it is that Danielle was trying to bring up. And baby, Teresa was giving that girl nothing. And that's why I said whatever was going on with Danielle had already been put in place. I don't know what happened over the off season with Danielle. I don't know if some things got back to Teresa about Danielle, but for whatever reason, it was clear that Teresa had it out for Danielle. I don't know, because it looked like everything was cool when Danielle came over there, when they got them treatments a couple of weeks ago. So maybe when they went down to the shore, maybe some shit went down when they was down at the shore. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Teresa didn't feel like Danielle kissed the ring enough while they was down at the Jersey Shore. I don't know. But what I do know is it is clear that Teresa and Jennifer Aiden decided that Danielle was going to be their sacrificial lamb this season. That was clear. Because Teresa was giving that girl nothing. And even when she tried to bring up the whole situation, she was like, well, you need to ask her about that. You need to talk to Jennifer. Like nothing. She didn't even say, well, listen, that was last year. Y'all talked about it. Like she was giving her nothing. Like you could literally see Teresa, like Teresa might as well have been watching her clock, watching her watch. She was giving nothing. Thank you, Edwina. Thank you, my love. Thank you. Teresa was acting like Kim from ATL. She shows up and doesn't want to participate. In that moment, she definitely didn't. Like, she absolutely did not. And like I said, I think it might have been maybe something went down at the shore, or maybe the way something went down. Because it is clear Danielle tried to set that woman up by bringing in that damn hairdresser. And you know what I love about Danielle? And I did like Danielle last year until Danielle let Jennifer get her caught up in that bullshit. But I like Danielle. Let me tell you why I was loving, and I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit to the bougie brunch. No offense, I was stunned when she said she went to college. I told y'all Teresa went to college. Teresa has a fashion merchandising degree, and she was actually a buyer for either Bloomingdale's or Macy's before she got married. Teresa, yeah, but let's also remember that was 30 years ago or 20 years ago. Like, let's not act like that was yesterday. Like, but anyway, y'all made me lose my train of thought. Excuse me. I loved that when they got to the end of this, I'm jumping ahead a little bit to the bougie brunch, but I love when they got to this and they brought up it was Macy's, thank you, Gail. And they brought up the hairdresser, and Danielle was like, yeah, I put her out of VIP. She wasn't supposed to be there. I said, you better stand in your shit. You better double down on it. She was like, and why are we arguing about somebody that's not important to this friend group? I said, you better stand in it. You better stand in it. She said, yeah, like, I put her out because she wasn't supposed to be there. And the hairdresser even said, well, I bought a ticket, and I don't understand why I couldn't be in VIP. Because you wasn't supposed to be in VIP. Because you didn't have a VIP ticket. And if Danielle wanted you in VIP, guess what Danielle would have done? Danielle would have gave you a VIP ticket. I remember when Teresa told Joe when Teresa and Joe were on MTV True Life, I have a Jersey Shore house, and she was in school on there. That was before they were married. Oh, okay. Did you catch when Teresa told Danielle she should not have repeated it? She should not be repeating stuff either. Yeah, that's the other thing. She said, well, you didn't have to repeat it. Again, they set that girl up last year, and they set her up last year. They absolutely wanted her. And now, and see, what I find interesting is now that you and Teresa have had time to talk and come up with a story. Now you've got this perfect explanation as to why you didn't want Jennifer to Danielle to repeat the story last season. It's because you didn't want to expose the fact that Joe had a conversation with Louis, which doesn't make sense. Who cares? Who cares if Joe had a conversation with Louis? Why is that important? Like, it didn't even make no sense. Thank you, Miss B. Carter. Right, Kenya. I didn't understand. Kenya said I didn't understand that scene last week at Jennifer's house. Why are they assuming that woman is entitled to be anywhere? Right. Just because you did that woman's hair does not mean you get to be in VIP. I'm sorry. And it sounds like you did her hair before the event, which means that you would have been at that event regardless if I called you to do my hair or not. And I get it that you did her a favor. That's great. But if you had said, hey, girl, I'm going to open up my salon. I know you're in a bind. I know you're in a little bit of a fix. You think you could get me a VIP? That would have been another conversation. But it sounds like you had already bought a ticket before you even knew you were doing Danielle's hair. So if you wanted a VIP ticket, then you should have bought a VIP ticket. Because when she said I opened up my salon for her because she was in a bind, that sounds like it was an emergency last minute situation. And she called you because you was somebody that she knows and you did her a favor. But I'm sure she paid you because if she, like I said last week, if she hadn't paid you, I'm sure you would have said she didn't even give me any money. So I'm sure she paid you for your inconvenience, which means that, again, you already had a ticket to this event. So you felt entitled to be in VIP. When Teresa told Danielle that she didn't have to repeat it, told me that Teresa was the mastermind. Right. Well, Teresa is definitely the mastermind because, listen, how would Jennifer have had that information? If Louis had talked to Joe, which means that Melissa and Joe knew about it and Teresa and Louis knew about it, how did Jennifer even know to tell Danielle? Anyway, so Jennifer and Melissa go to lunch so they could try to hash out their issues. I'm going to be honest with you. I just feel like that's the hamster wheel and ain't nobody trying to get off. I feel like Melissa was trying to make nice with Jennifer because, hey, Angie, thank you. I have not watched one episode of Jersey this season, but I'm here for your reviews. Thank you so much, my love. And thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. What that says to me is that, shoot, I lost my train of thought. Golly. What was I talking about? Shit. Oh, the hamster wheel. Melissa was trying to make nice with Jennifer, and Jennifer was trying to make nice with Melissa because, again, Jennifer is hedging her bets and Melissa is hedging her bets because Jennifer understands that Teresa Giudice might be able to pick and choose who she's going to film with because she know that Bravo ain't going to do nothing with her, but I don't have that same luxury. And Teresa, yes, me being her sidekick is cool and all, but I've got to be able to film with other people. And Melissa understands that she's got to hedge her bets as well because, again, she talked Billy badass, but she know that she need to be able to film with as many people as possible. Let's call a thing a thing. So both of them are going to try to make this thing work once again, even though all they do is talk ish about each other. Even in that daggone lunch, Danielle is talking ish about Joe. And Melissa was like, girl, if we're going to make this work, you can't be talking ish about my man. Like, you can't be saying that he got a limp dick. Like, we can't do that. Hello? You can't be talking ish about my man. So then they decide they're going to try to work this out. But once again, we hear Jennifer giving her version of what happened. And that was the first time that we've heard, thank you, Tracy. We need 78 more subscribers. If you are not subscribed to the sister channel, please make sure you guys go subscribe over there. That's the first time we've heard this version of the story about, well, I couldn't tell Danielle without telling your story, and that wasn't my story to tell. Girl, what? Y'all really worked on that. It took y'all how many months to come up with that one? Because that don't even make no damn sense. So it wasn't your story to tell about about the fact that Melissa already knew and how Melissa already knew, but it was your story to tell that Melissa cheated on her husband. Make that make sense. I need you to make that make sense. That makes no sense. It wasn't your story to tell about how Melissa knew, but it was your story to tell that Melissa was allegedly sleeping around on Joe. I mean, am I tripping? Y'all tell me if I'm tripping. Chuck, I know you'll get me together. Chuck, tell me if I'm tripping. Am I understanding that right? Am I understanding that right? That's the best that y'all could come up with. Y'all had since the reunion last year. That is the best that y'all could come up with. Now, while this was going on, Melissa, Jim Fessler, and Marge, they had lunch over Marge's house. And again, we're downloading what happened at the daggone baseball game. We're downloading the conversation between Melissa and Jennifer. And Marge, once again, is talking about how things in her marriage are not quite the same because Jan is not there to balance it. Jen was like, you ain't talking about leaving him, are you? She was like, girl, no, but I'm still mourning. We still got to figure these things out. Like I said, I think Marge is dealing with a lot of guilt. I honestly think Marge is dealing with a lot of guilt with Jan and maybe how she treated him and maybe how things went. But whatever. But pretty much everything that was said at the brunch, child, we already done talked about. I mean, they're just downloading each other on, Jackie and, like I said, Jennifer and Melissa or whatever. So we get to the bougie kids brunch. Now, first of all, this theme was so New Jersey. Only New Jersey, and no offense to anybody from New Jersey, but y'all know what I'm getting ready to say. Only New Jersey would think that bougie equal glitter. She said, I wanted everybody to wear their best glitter outfit. Girl, how does that equate to bougie in your mind? How do you hear bougie? So you came in looking like a Studio 54 reject with your pants and your heels and your solid gold, black and silver outfit. I know I said solid gold, but I was thinking like disco solid gold, not the color gold. You like Danielle, girl, nothing about your outfit read bougie. Sorry, not sorry. I did like Dolores's look. Dolores's look was cute. I did like. I honestly think that might be the last one because I hated Rachel's dress. That dress was horrible. Melissa's dress I didn't care for, but it wasn't the worst one there. But it was something about it that just didn't. And I didn't like Melissa's hair. I didn't like that crinkly hair situation she had going on. Jennifer's taste is horrible for me. Like I very seldom like anything Jennifer wears. I like the bags that she carried, but I very seldom like her clothes. I very seldom like what Teresa wears, so there's that. Child, let's just leave it there. But only in New Jersey would she have equated bougie and glitter. Let me read a couple of these comments. Hold on. After all that's now hit the fan, I don't think Teresa is untouchable to NBC. From what I've heard and read, the entire franchise is in trouble. Right, but I think they'll throw the whole franchise out before they would fire Teresa and just leave it as is. I do think they're willing to throw the franchise out because they did it for New York and they took a gamble with New York and it worked. Like the New York reboot did okay. And they're filming another season and we liked it. Like we as the viewers, we liked the reboot. So I think they're willing to take a chance. I do. I think they're willing to reboot the season, to the show. I think they are. If Jennifer talks about Joe Gorga, he deserves it. Joe tried to attack Jennifer at BravoCon, and the show refused to address it on the show. And at the reunion, fans took the video. Joe should be jailed. Well, I have a different opinion, but okay. I saw it years ago as a teen. I'm sure that you can find the clip somewhere online. It's a mess. I feel that her and Joe on that show gave MTV the idea for Jersey Shore with Snooki. Oh, okay. Oh, y'all talking about the My Life. Okay. Did you know the kids barred Marge from the funeral and the shiva? She's using her ex for a storyline. If she had any respect for the kids, she would leave Jan out of this season. Oh no, I didn't know nothing about that. Her kids banned her? Or his kids? Yeah, something expensive, but glitter chaba. Okay, so we get to the brunch, and Danielle was like, we haven't all been together since the season started without other people around. I thought this would be really cool for us to do it this way. I want to thank everybody for being here, yada, yada, yada. First of all, Teresa going to be mad when she found out that you invited Melissa to New York Fashion Week and not her, but she really going to be mad now. So Danielle, they talk about the dog and all that, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? Danielle addresses Jennifer about what happened at the cookout, at the dog party. I can respect the fact that Danielle asked them rather than let it fester and let it be a he say, she say. Like, I can respect the fact that she asked about it, right? I'm fine with that. But again, I've already addressed that. I don't feel like Jen Aiden was making fun of Danielle, although I do believe that's how it's sort of translated back to her. And again, I already addressed that her attitude was like, who cares, child, to cook out, whatever, child. I love the fact that she was like, who cares about the hairdresser? Like, she wasn't supposed to be in VIP. And so we're sitting here turning this. And what I love is that Danielle was like, so we turning this into a thing? We're turning this into a thing because she wanted to be in VIP. And I said, no, that's a story. So from there, it evolved into what happened last year when she said, well, I feel like it's a setup, kind of like how you set me up last year. And Danielle was like, listen, let me just ask you for once and for all, did y'all set me up? So, of course, now Teresa was like, what do you mean us? What are you talking about us? She said it a million times. She said no. What else do you want from her? She said it. What do you mean us? We, us, us, we us. Turn it to a whole thing. Somehow, I ain't gonna say somehow, but Rachel gets into it because they get to talking about Rachel and what Teresa said about her husband calling him a big drug dealer. Y'all ain't gonna like this next part. Y'all not gonna like the next part. I think Rachel did a lot in that moment. I do. I think Rachel did a lot. She called Teresa a lot of names. She did. I think she did a lot. Now, I know y'all not gonna agree with me. I know some of y'all ain't gonna agree with what I'm saying. That's fine. But I do. I think Rachel did a lot. I do. And baby Teresa ain't know what to do. Baby Teresa was sitting there like, and like the Lord said, Teresa, it's going to take a few days for that thing to set in. But once that thing sets in and Teresa realizes exactly what just happened right now, oh, it's going to be a whole nother situation. Teresa is going to be out for blood. And Rachel was like, I ain't give a fuck. I'm not scared of Teresa. I don't care. Teresa was like, I'm leaving. My daughter got a volleyball game. And I feel like nobody said bye to her. And you can see she was sort of hesitating, like, okay, like, ain't nobody going to get up. Ain't nobody going to hug me. Ain't nobody going to walk me out. Baby, Teresa was like, okay, well, I'm leaving. Okay, well, I'm leaving. Okay, I'm gone. Baby, nobody cared. Apparently, last year, a lot of podcasters were saying they don't like Danielle and that she was becoming known for letting fame get to her. The show isn't the first time we've heard she stiffed people. But I didn't hear what she stiffed anybody. They didn't say she stiffed anybody. That lady was mad that she wasn't allowed to be in VIP. She never said that Danielle didn't pay her. She never said Danielle didn't pay her. She said she wasn't allowed to be in VIP. And that was pretty much the episode. Again, Jackie was like, I'm not stupid. Melissa was like, girl, she literally like tried to destroy your marriage. And Jackie was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not stupid, Melissa. You want me to be mad at her about something that already happened? Like, I'm not holding on to old stuff. I'm good. I'm not mad at her anymore. And yes, I do think that Melissa was bringing up old shit so that she would be mad. I do feel like that. But the flip side is I think Melissa was like, girl, maybe you forgot. Maybe you so caught up with trying to be her friend, you forgot all the things she did to you. Maybe I need to refresh your memory a little bit, okay? But at the end of the day, we definitely see where Jackie is trying to be on the in crowd, right? She is definitely, hey Mo, hey boo. She's definitely trying to be with the cool kids. And in her mind, Teresa and Jennifer Aiden are the cool kids. And I don't care what she says. She's absolutely trying to be on their good side. That's my opinion. Good point, Really B. She didn't on the show. I'm just letting you know what the podcasters are saying. Yeah, I appreciate it. Give me shelter, but I review what I see. I try not to get into all the side talk. I really try to review what's on the show, but I appreciate that. So yeah, so that was pretty much where it ended. It was a big old blow up, and I don't know where we go from here, honey. I don't know where we go from here, but that was pretty much the episode, you guys. Let me know what you guys think. If you catch this on the replay, drop it in the comments. And I will keep you guys posted. I'm going to get off here now. We'll do Dubai tomorrow. I'm about to go watch it, see what it's giving. And we'll talk about Dubai tomorrow. So meet me back here tomorrow to have the conversation about Dubai. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace. Mwah.